Oh, are we on? Are we on? Oh, ho, ho. Can you hear me? Oh, thank God. That was an absolute pain in the neck. Oh, but I think I've learned another way of how to do it now. This is what happens, you see. You have the fancy software and it just doesn't bloody work. I had to click about 400 buttons to get it. So I'm going to have a drink. Let me take this off. I'm going to have a drink of my coffee. Oh, finally. Right, can you hear me now? That's marvellous, thank God. I've got a sweat on there. Oh, Julia can see me, that's bloody marvellous. So, good evening, everybody. Finally, we've got it working, and I think I've learned, this is, now anybody that was on Facebook this afternoon will know that I tested this afternoon, and Debbie and Bev and Karen were there, and it worked perfectly first time. But for some bizarre reason, it didn't want to do it tonight, so I had to do it in a different way. So Jean says hello, she can't get on chat, so this is her giveaway entry. Oh, bless. Hi, Jean. Why can't you get on the chat, Jean? Jean, if Jean's watching on her iPad, she needs to turn it to landscape. Karen was telling me earlier, if you turn it to landscape, you can see the comments. Right, so before we forget, good evening, everybody. This is the first time I've done a YouTube live, so it's a bit of a learning curve. I've had to shut my curtains because the sun is beating through my craft room window. So you can see me and you can hear me. So what I thought we'd do is, because you were all in shock when I told you that I had done an A6 card, and I did actually prep this for my shows on Create and Craft, but obviously we sold out and I never got to do it. So I'm going to do the little A6 card and make it. I wish somebody would, Claire. Claire's just said they'll make you a techie, yeah. So we're going to do the little A6 card, but I'm going to show you a different version. I haven't got the original with me. The original is at the shop in Sheffield. But if you are on Facebook, you'll be able to see the original in the album on the Sentimentally Yours. Yes, I can see the comments, Ilona. But if you are on Facebook and you go to the Sentimentally Yours page, you will be able to see the album with all the samples in from the Verse Library Volume 1 shows from last week, and you'll be able to see everything in there. So before I forget, please like and share, so you can copy the link from the top of the address bar and post it wherever you can. And please make sure you like the video for me. Even if you don't like it, just say you did and pretend. Hi, Denise. Changed over to your laptop. Yeah, I guess it's a bit easier. Chrissy says Jean's got an old tablet, Phil. She needs it upgraded. Oh, bless her. Bless. Right, so let's get cracking. I'm so glad this is working. So before I get started, I have got, when I did the test this afternoon, Bev said she could hear the fan in the background. So I've turned the fan down to number 1, so it's on the lowest speed. So I'm just checking whether you can hear it or not, because I don't want it annoying you all the way through the live. So can you tell me if you can hear the fan in the background? Joan's just received a handmade buy stamp. Absolutely love it. Wish I could afford all of them. Oh, gee, Joan. Well, I do know, Joan, that if you want to collect odds and sods, Karen's put them all back in stock. So all the verse stamps are back in stock on the website until they run out of stock. So if you're collecting individuals, or if you only wanted certain ones, you can absolutely go on the website and cherry pick and pick these certain ones that you wanted. But you need to be quick, because there's hardly any of the verses left. And as you know, I won't restock. You can hear it, but it's not very loud, so it's not that's fab then, as long as it's not bugging you. It is about a 20-foot fan. No, I'm kidding. Right, so let's get started. So for the benefit of people that are not on Facebook or didn't see the Facebook live that I did before the launch of the verses, I'm just going to quickly flick through them. I'm not going to spend ages on this because you can get on the website and see them all and read them all. Oh, hi Anne. What time is it there, Anne? Hi Michelle, finally got you lol. Oh, it was good. Oh, bless you. Can hear you, but it's not off-putting. That's fine. Thank you, everybody. So Anne is in New Mexico. I'm not sure. Can hear the fan on your phone, but not on the TV. That's fine. I'll carry on then. If it starts to annoy you, just let me know. But it is. I have done a run this afternoon and just got out of the shower and had all the stress of trying to set this bloody YouTube up. But I know how to do it now. So I'll quickly flick through the verses. So you've got the birthday one. So you have the main focal point, which is your verse, and 3 extra sentiments. I know lots of you have already had these delivered already, which I think is fabulous. Then you've got the wedding verse with the interactive elements to it. You have the anniversary verse, again with interactive elements to it, so you can cherry pick and create your own sentiments from these. You have the friendship verse, which I'm using tonight, so I'll pop that over there. You have the new baby verse, and again, interactive elements that you can mix and match. You have the new home verse, which I think is one of my favourites. And again, Anne's on a lunch hour in New Mexico. So you have the new home one, which again has interactive elements, so you can personalise this verse. Retirement, which is one of my favourites. So the retirement verse. And the well done, which covers all the occasions that are not wedding or anniversary. So your graduation, anything like that, this will cover. Pass your driving test and so on and so forth. I'm going to thank you all as well while I'm here, because if you did, obviously if you saw the shows on Create and Craft, you will know just how popular these were. We were actually at 70% gone after the first hour. So that shows you how much you all love them, and I appreciate that, so thank you very much. So you've got the special day verse, which can again be it can cater for any kind of occasion. Very generic. So the special day is a good one to have. And then you have the sympathy verse, which is a beautiful verse with 5 separate sentiments that you can mix and match. So that is your volume 1 of the verse library. Volume 2, as I mentioned on my shows on TV, will either be towards the end of this year or the very beginning of next year. And I will probably do it in 2 sections of 5, so it's a little bit easier for you to collect them, as opposed to doing 10 in one go like I did with the introduction. I did need to do all 10 because it kind of covers all the essential occasions that we need verses for. So I'm going to pop these to one side. So tonight I'm going to use the cupcakes. So little heads up, because we released these, I can't remember whether it was Julia or me that launched these on Create and Craft last year, but it was November time, I think. So if you didn't get the celebration collection of stamps last November and you want any of these, you need to get on the website quick and get them sharpish, because we're literally down to very, very low numbers. And I absolutely love the celebration collection. It goes so well with the verses. So this is the lots of cupcakes, which I am using tonight. This actually looks like a new one, so I think I must have pinched it off the set. So, or maybe not, I can't tell, but I'm using it anyway. So this is the lots of cupcakes. You have lots of presents. I'll bring that in a little bit closer. I love this one. And again, you can use it for Christmas, you can use it for birthdays, you can use it for any occasion where you would need a prezi. So they cover just about anything. Then you have the lots of cake, which I love the lots of cake one. So if anybody's following me on Instagram, you'll see I posted a card. I posted a card yesterday or the day before where I did the wedding card with the double gatefold at the front. And I used this beautiful cake here. I even cut round all these little fiddly bits and covered them in glitter. So Lots of Cake is a fab one to have as well. There are only 4 in this collection. And then you've got Lots of Fizz, and Lots of Fizz is a fabulous one to have as well. So you've got the champagne flutes, the champagne bottle, the bottle of champagne, the individual numbers. So for example, if you were doing, I don't know, a 25th anniversary card, you could use the anniversary verse, and then you could put 25th in that little section of the champagne bottle. So you're completely personalising it again. So absolutely fabulous. So get them sharpish. I'll leave the cupcake and the verse because that's what I'm using, because they will not be around for much longer and I won't restock. And then last but not least, I'm not using this tonight, but I'm just going to quickly show everybody in case anybody hasn't seen it. I found it. I could only get on chat when I logged in via your account rather than directly from Facebook. Oh, well, that's interesting, Wendy. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So the Handmade By one is another one that sold out after the second hour, I think, on TV. And it's the one that gives you all the different options for saying handmade by. So handcrafted by, and all the best things are. Lovingly crafted in the craft room of, etc, etc. You've got that beautiful little wreath there, the floral wreath. I'll turn it around because you can see better on the picture. Yeah. And then you've got the 2 line stamps that you could put underneath. So you can you can write your name in that section as well. So that is what was new last week. So just to remind you, there is literally hardly anything left. If you're collecting the individuals, you need to get on the website quick and get the ones that you want in the verses or in the celebration collection, because they're not going to last for long. Right, so before I get onto this demo, we're going to do a little giveaway. I thought it would be nice to do a giveaway for the first YouTube live. So at the very end of the YouTube live, I'm going to roll my mouse up and down all the comments and stop on a name, and whoever's name I stop on will win these 2 gorgeous paper packs. And I absolutely love these, so you're lucky really, because I love these. So these are the colour coordinates paper packs. So you've got here the collection that has the powder blue and the dusky pink. And I'm just going to flick through this so you get a little idea of the feel of it. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful paper pack. And you know it's going to go well with your verses. It's going to go well with the celebration collection. Look at them lovely flowers, doodle flowers. In the dusky pink and the rose and the powder blue. You've got polka dot stripes, you've got a wood grain in there to match. In the pink and blue, you've got those lovely little bubble borders, pink and blue. The obligatory polka dots. And look at that, that's gorgeous. In the pink and the blue, and then the striped one in the pink and the blue. And then you're also going, because you're going to get both, somebody's going to win both of these. I love these papers, absolutely love them. You can still buy these on the website. Once they're gone, they are gone. So if you're going on the website, you just need to search for, or you just need to find the category for the A4 paper packs, and you'll find them in there as well. And here you've got the spring green and the vintage lilac. So I'll quickly flick through these because it's the same designs, but different coloured papers. Where's the lilac in that one? I can't find it. Anyway, I'll flick through, flick. Useful set of papers to have because the colours are just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and there we go. Oh, I'm not very good at flicking, am I, unless I'm on telly. Anyway, you get the gist. So somebody will win all 80 sheets of this at the end of this Facebook Live, at the end of this YouTube Live. So keep the comments coming. Keep liking and sharing, everybody. Right, so let's get started on this card. When have you ever, in all the years you've known me, when have you ever known me make an A6 card? And look how dinky it is. Look how dinky that is. It's beautiful. And I've got to say, I loved making it. And I'm also going to say, it's not as easy as you think. I find it just as difficult to make a small card as I do great big ones, which is just bizarre. Angela will be impressed with me doing an A6 card live. So on the original card, I used lemon, so I used the lemon sorbet cardstock on the original, and I've changed it for this demo. That's a bit bizarre, David. Yeah, they have. Those paper packs do have butterflies in them. So I've changed this. I've changed the colourway slightly for this one. We're still doing lemon, but I've chosen the lemon zest card, which is a proper zingy yellow. So we're going to change that, and I'm going to show you what I have done already, just so you get an idea. And I'm going to let you choose which option I go for. So put that to one side. I'll tell you about everything I've used as I go through, so I'm not just keep talking. I need my big scissors. Bear with me a second. I've got 2 pots of pin flare there because the one I had on telly was dodgy. Right, so what we've got here is the lemon zest, and I've embossed this using the classic Flourish embossing folder, which is just an absolute must-have. Yeah, absolutely, Angela, it does take as long. So that's the classic Flourish embossing folder, and that's the embossed side, and that is the debossed side, and I think the debossed side is just as elegant. So if you haven't got the classic Flourish embossing folder, it's well worth treating yourself to that one. Doing A6 Christmas cards this year, well, I wouldn't be able to make an A6 Christmas card, I don't think. I think that's just pushing it too far. So I've got the 2 panels with the, because we're going to do the inside and the outside, or we can not use those and we can create a background using the sentiments that are in here, which I thought might be quite nice as well. So we could stamp a multicoloured background using 2 Distress Oxides to give us a lovely washed background. So I'm going to let you choose whether we go for embossed, and I'm going to take the first few answers and then decide, so I'm not here all night. So we can either go embossed or we can go stamped background. So I'm going to let you choose. So the first couple of people that tell me embossed or stamped, and then I'll decide. Yeah, see, Elaine's just said, look, 5x7 is actually a nice size. But my 5x7s always end up being 10x7 or 10x14 or 10x15. Put your phone on, do not disturb, Bev. Do the wash, please. Background. Right, so we're going for stamped. We're going for stamped because the first few people said stamped. Yeah, so I'm going to save those. I'll use them again. So we'll create a little background on these 2 panels. So I'm going to use the word friends, and we're going to do multicoloured. So within the set of stamps, love, you've got, in fact I might do both. I might have love you and friends and love you, or something like that, or the 2 different friends. Or I might have, oh, I'm tormenting myself now. No, I'm going to have, no, I'll do friends. I'll do the word friends, and we'll create different multicoloured backgrounds. So I'm stamping this with my block because I'm not too worried if it goes a bit skewy. I'm using a combination of spiced marmalade and mustard seed. So mustard seed Distress Oxide is quite a strong yellow. Could have done it in squeezed lemonade as well, but I'm not. I want a stronger background. On the front of the card, you're literally only going to see a bit of it, look. So because we're only going to see around the outsides, I know I don't need to waste time doing all the way across the middle. And the same on the inside. So it literally is going to just be a lovely soft background. So let's get cracking. Is the picture better on YouTube, incidentally? I know a few people have told me that the sound is better. Well, it must be, because you can hear the fan. You wouldn't be able to if I was doing Facebook, I don't think. So I'm going to do the spiced marmalade first. I'm using my acrylic circles. I'm just going to turn it on its side because I find it a little bit easier to stamp sideways. And I'm going straight in. So because I'm using oxides and I'm not using the stamping platform, we're going to get a lovely soft background. Yeah, now for some reason, Julia, I'm looking at my computer so I can see what you're seeing. My computer's right in front of me. And it looks a little bit sharper than it does on Facebook, which I think is fabulous. So I'm just going to stamp and try and keep it somewhat straight. Doesn't matter too much. Let's just see. Because it's literally going to be a background. Let's just see how that's going to show. You can see already, look how it's just transformed it already. So I'm going to stay there with the, no, I'll do one more. Just because I can, and I'll come in a little bit further. And then I'm going to do the other one for the inside. So I am doing, this is why I love verses for cards. If you put verses in your cards, you're going to absolutely be able to do the inside to match. And I love that. I absolutely love that we can decorate the inside of a card. So shall I do the same, or I'll try to do it similar to what we've done on there, even though we're only going to see a bit of it. I'm going to do a little bit more actually. That one's a bit skewy. Pretend you can't tell. Pretend you can't tell that one's skewy. Go just there, and I'm going to change to my lemon, my mustard seed, but I'm not going to clean the stamp. I'm going to leave that bit of mustard seed that's on there. I'm going to leave that there because it won't matter if it blends in. Try and make that straight-ish. So that is the inside. Let's just see what we're going to see. So I need a bit up there. Just need a bit there so that there's no white, too many white spaces. And we'll have one down there as well. Oops. Just because we can. So that's the inside. I'm going to let that dry for a second. Oh, I'm trying to keep up with your comments. Can hear sirens even. That's how good it is. That's what happens when you live near a hospital. Got me on the telly now. Oh. Well, next time we do a YouTube live, I am still going to do the Facebook lives. So we will be having a Facebook live on Saturday afternoon as normal. But I am hoping to make the Tuesday evening on YouTube a regular thing. So providing I'm not busy with other stuff, we will do a Facebook live on a YouTube live every Tuesday. So let's just get that done. Just see what that looks like with the small one on. I think that's quite fabulous. And then I'm just going to let that dry a little bit, and then we'll splat it. Oops, let me show you. So that's what that's going to look like in the background. So completely different to the original, just by changing, yeah, you've got me everywhere now. Just by changing the background. So I'm going to let that dry just for a second, and then I'm going to splat it, but I'm going to use the pens to splat it. Just get a wipe. Oh, come on. So just clean my stamp. Put that back on its pack. I quite like this. It's something a bit different. Yeah, so well, yeah, Extra Lives is fab. So I'll try and do Tuesday evenings on YouTube and Saturday afternoons on Facebook as I normally do. I'm not going to do the multi-streaming because it's just too complicated. So it's too complicated for me to try and see two different places with comments. So I would have YouTube on the left, Facebook on the right, and I'd never be able to keep up. I can barely keep up with one, let alone two. So I'm just going to pop these to one side. Just let them dry for a second. And then I'm going to stamp the verse. I'm going to stamp the verse for the inside. And I am going to use the platform for this, because I'm going to stamp it in the same two colours as the background. So I've used the, these have subsequently sold out on TV, I think. So I'm using the double debossed inverted corner rectangles, which are absolutely perfect for these verse stamps. Nearly all the verses, every single one of those verses will fit within one of the inverted corner rectangle dies. So that's a little tip for you. And obviously if you like doing 7x5 cards or A5 cards, you know that it's gonna, you know, you're gonna use them loads. So I'm going to take the actual verse this time, and I'm using the friendship verse. I love this verse. It can be absolutely for anything as long as you like them. So I'm just popping that straight in the middle. I'm just taking that in a little bit because I know I'm using Distress Oxides. I know I'm going to have to go in twice to add the ink because I want a stronger colour. So I'm going to be really naughty and contaminate these. So I'm going all over with the yellow. So this is the mustard seed. So I'm doing a base coat, if you like, of mustard seed. Which I just think looks fabulous in its own right. And then we're going to do a two-tone, so another coat of mustard seed. And there's some spiced marmalade. So most people that have followed me for a while will know that of all the Distress Oxides that are orange, the carved pumpkin is actually my favourite because it's a really deep orange. But spiced marmalade is a little bit softer for this card because we're doing cupcakes. So I'm just doing a little bit of jiggery pokery, and then we'll get a lovely two-tone effect. We'll get a lovely two-tone effect now from the orange. Oh, that looks gorgeous. That looks bloody marvellous. How about that look? Is that not just fabulous? Let me just put it next to the background. Oh, there's just something about orange and lemon, orange and yellow. It looks beautiful. There we go. So I'm just going to clean my stamp because I don't want it to get too stained. And although the oxides are water reactive, they will stain your stamps if you leave them. So let's put that down there. And now we're going to come to the colouring. So while these are just drying at the side, we're going to stamp our cupcakes. So we need 2 cupcakes for this because we are going to decorate the inside of the card. And I think I used the one with the daisy on for the last card. So I'll change it this time and I use the one that's got the whipped cream. Yeah, I'll choose the one with the whipped cream. And I'm going to stamp 2. We're going to have the smaller one. And we're going to have the larger one. And we're also going to have the, oh, I'll have to do them separate, the little happy birthday flags. So normally I would stamp these in the VersaFine Onyx Black, but I think I'm going to go with the Morning Mist. So I'm going with the VersaFine Clair Morning Mist because it's a grey, it's a lovely grey colour, and because I'm colouring in yellow and orange, the grey won't be so, it won't stand out so much. And I'm not worried if I miss any bits because I'm going to be cutting these out. I'm going to have yellow fingers by the time I've done. So although I'm going to be watercolouring with the watercolour blending brush pens, I'm not actually using watercolour card. And I know you've heard me say this 100 times before, but you don't necessarily have to. You do get a better result if you use the hot press watercolour card. I won't lie to you. Because once you lay colour on regular cardstock, it's not so easy to move it around. Whereas if you use the hot press watercolour card, oh Denise, you need to treat yourself to some VersaFine Clairs. You really need to treat yourself to some VersaFine Clairs. For anybody who likes sentiments or the verse stamps particularly, you'll get a much sharper stamp from a VersaFine Clair. They're fabulous. I absolutely love them. Forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so if you're using hot press watercolour card, you will be able to move the colour around, and you would even be able to leave it for a day or two and still move it around. So I'm just going to stamp the little banners. And I've chosen Emmerdale time again. So I'll have to watch Emmerdale while I have my tea. Let's just put that on there. And we are good to go. I'm going to have a drink. Please keep, if you've only just joined us, only just started watching, please like and share for me. So like the live and share it into whatever groups you might be in, or as long as you won't get into trouble. Just so we can share it far and wide. And please remember, you can subscribe to my channel. So Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. You can also subscribe to Julia Watts. You can also subscribe to Ilona from my design team and Lozzie from my design team. And I'll try and get some links for you in a bit. Right, so watercolour brush pens. Now set 1, set 2 have sold out on TV. So sets 1 and 2 will never be back on TV. Set 3 and 4 we've still got stock of set 3 and 4, but it's not a lot. So I'm going to choose a really bright zingy yellow. And I'm going to have this lovely orange tone. So I've got all mine in colour, in colour order. And then I want a beige colour for the cupcake. And just bear with me, I know which one I'm looking for. I'm looking for this one for the cupcake and for the wrapper. I'm just going to pop those out of the way to one side. Oops, what have I just knocked off? something. And now we're going to colour. So I'm literally just using three colours for these cupcakes. So we've got this kind of tan looking colour, a bright yellow and a bright orange. And I'm going to use my water brushes, my longer water brushes. So the watercolour blending brush pens do come with 2 water brushes in them, albeit I've taken most of mine out, look. But they do come with two brushes. But I quite like the fine one from the extras. So there's a really fine one. Let me just come down a little bit. There you go. So there's a really fine one that you get in the set of 3 fine tips, and they've got a longer barrel. You might be wondering why I did extra water brushes when you get some with the pens, but I did the extra brushes because they've got longer barrels and you've got different sorts of nibs on them as well, so you've got choices. So a couple of little tips for colouring on non-watercolour card. So if you're colouring on regular cardstock as opposed to watercolour card, don't go direct with the pen, because as soon as you go direct with the pen, the ink that's in the nib, which set would you recommend as a good all-round, as I can't afford all 4? Trish, I'm telling you now, you need to get set 1 or set 2. So if you go on the website and look at the watercolour blending brush pens and get either set 1 or set 2, because they're the ones that will never be back on TV, and we've literally not got many of those left. So just choose which one has your favourite kind of colour palette in. So both are good all-rounders. Yeah, will you bring in all the colours out of the watercolour pens? Highly unlikely, Jennifer. Highly unlikely, because when I did these, I've kind of covered all the colours that we would need as crafters, as card makers, and there's not really any need for us to have any other colours. We can create. Remember, you can create different shades by blending 2 together. So the possibilities with these pens just go on forever. Right, so let me get a drink and shut me up from colouring. Why have I gone all professional just because I'm on here? It won't last. It won't last. Right, so I'm going to put some colour on my little acrylic block, and we're going to have the cupcakes matching. So I'm going to do the icing in the yellow. So I've just put some colour on the acrylic block. You can see there it won't stay in the acrylic block because it's a water-based ink. And I'm going to squeeze some water onto my mat. And I'm going to pick some of the colour up from there, and I'm going to do a really loose, quick base coat. So I'm literally, you don't need any skill with this at all. And I'm quite comfortable saying that to you because the pens will do all the work for you. So I'm literally just giving the icing a once-over look with the lemon. So I've watered that really strong yellow down and made it into a lovely lemon. Pilates class, oh, good for you. Good for you. If you have to set 1, you'd be quick. Yeah, I know, right? I ordered a pipe. Oh, thanks, Wendy. The pens are fabulous. So I'm going to now take a little bit more colour. I'm just going to flick around. So I'm not watering this down now. I'm just using what's on the block. So I'm coming from. I'll bring it in and show you in a second. So I'm just doing the edges, look, and making the edges a little bit darker until I've run out of ink, and then I'll put a bit more on because I can. I'll bring this in to show you in a second. So I'm now starting to add dimension to these little cupcakes. So can you see where I've added stronger colour? Yeah. So that's now, this is just me being pedantic. You absolutely wouldn't need to do this if you didn't want to. And I'm now going to go in direct with the pen. So I'm going to go direct with the pen and I'm just going to flick a little bit around the edges. And I will bring this in to show you in a second. It's really quick to do this, really easy to do. And you can't really do this wrong. So I'm just doing the same with the other one. So I've now gone in on the edges. I'm just putting some more colour on my block. And made that quite strong on the edges. So that's not finished. So that's like you doing what I told you not to do at the very beginning and putting colour straight onto the card. However, because we've got 2 layers of watercolour underneath, so ink that's been watered down underneath, we can now go back in with some watered down colour, go over the whole thing and start blending that together. And straight away, hang on, I can't talk and colour. Straight away, that has toned all those raw edges. So it now looks like we've got an orange and lemon whipped cream. I'm going to just add a little bit more orange just because I'm being pedantic. You don't have to be as fussy as me. I want it to be an orange and lemon cupcake. Told you. Whoever told anybody that A6 cards were quicker is obviously not colouring in on them. But hopefully you're learning something while I'm showing you. So just water this down again and go over the whole thing. Oh, that looks so good. That looks so fabulous. So while I've got a bit of colour on my block, I'm just going to go over the happy and the birthday. And because I'm cutting them out, I don't need to worry too much. And now I'm faffing, don't let me faff. This is the problem when I start colouring in. Right, so I'm going to clean that off. I'll just show you what I've done, look. So we've now got a lovely watercoloured happy birthday banner. The cupcakes are coming along nicely. I'm going to take the yellow off and the orange. I'm going to move on to the actual cupcake. Nobody's noticed, by the way, my lovely little new background. Although I'll probably take it off next time because it's doing my head in. So I'm just making sure I've got no orange left on this water brush. I'm going to come to this lovely beige colour. And it's basically repeating the same thing. So I'm going to do this quite quickly. If you go to the other sets of water brushes, So I do two different sets of these brushes. We have the fine set, the fine tip set, and we have the brush tip. So I'm just going to show you these brushes because I'm trying to find the medium one. They got water in, that's dried up. I'll show you with the big one there. So this is the largest one, yeah. And it's like a brush that's obviously dried up, but it'll be fine when I water it. And these are really good for doing washes, which is what I'm going to do now. So again, I'm going to squeeze some water out, get some water in that. Where are you, water? There we go. I'm going to pick this colour up onto my brush lot, and I'm just going to wash over that. How easy was that? I'm going to, while this is still wet, I'm just going to add a little bit of shade into this. Do you know, when I was planning this, I was thinking, oh, it'll be really quick. No such thing. So shading with the watercolour pens is the easiest job in the world. I'm literally just following most of the lines that are on the design on the stamp. I'm going to put some more colour on the block. The water, incidentally, on the block doesn't damage the nibs of your pens. I'll take that off and I'll glide it over again. And that should soften it all up. Marvellous. We'll do the same with the cupcake. I can't see your comments just yet, but I promise I will read them later. Well, I'm going to choose a winner, so I've got to. Okay, we are getting somewhere. Yeah, different types of water brush. These are the flat tip brushes, and they are quite. Shall I show you while you've got me on? I can get the lid off. So these are the flat tip brushes. They're worth having these because they're good for when you're doing backgrounds. So they're the flat tip brushes. So you've got a small, a medium, and the large one, which is the one that I've just used. They're all on the website. You can never have too many water brushes, really. I've got so many now. And then you've got the fine tip ones. So the fine tip ones are these. So these are the fine tip ones. So you've got the large brush, you've got the medium brush, and you've got the small brush, but they're all fine tip, look. So again, it's worth having both. Right, I'm going to add a little bit more colour to this cupcake, and then I'm going to cut them, leave them to dry while we do some splatting. So I'm just going direct now with the yellow and orange pens to add some colour to the polka dots in the wrapper. If you're thinking how long is it going to be now, let's have a look. What time is it? It's 8 o'clock. We'll probably be done for about past, just to give you a rough idea. And then some orange. Oh, there's lots of things popping up on my screen, so I don't look. Remember, I am going to give those 2 paper packs away at the end. That's to bribe you into staying till the end, obviously. Bev, are you still watching? don't know whether Bev's told anybody. Tracy. My hubby said to me the other day, when Phill was on TV, how come he makes a full card in 20 minutes, but it takes you 4 hours? That's hilarious, Tracy. Does he know how long it takes me to prep? So I'm just going to add orange to this. To these little banners. So I'm going to put these to one side now and let them dry, and then once they dry I can glitter them up. We're going to come to the backgrounds now, wherever I slung them. There they are. So we're going to come to these lovely backgrounds and we're going to just splat them with the orange and yellow pen. I know you won't see a lot of this, but it's just a finishing touch, it's detail. It's all about the details. I like details on my cards. Things that you might not notice straight away, but they are there. So I'm going to put some colour on my mat in the yellow. I'm going to squirt that. Let me just get my splatter brush. I'm going to squirt that with water, using the fine mist spray. And I'm just going to splat. Oops. And this is why I needed to leave the sentiments to dry a little bit longer, because we'd used distress oxides that are water reactive. So if we get any bits that are heavily wet, we will get some reaction from the water, but it's absolutely fine. And this bit here, before I change onto the orange, I'm not going to waste this bit of ink that's here. I'm going to drag it around the edge of my verse for the inside. Even if I've dragged it too far, but hey ho. And then I'll do the same with the orange once we get to the orange. The orange is a little bit stronger, so I won't use as much. Oh, sorry, I was saying, Bev, are you still watching? Oh, yeah, Bev, tell them what I did for you earlier. Don't be shy, I don't know whether anybody's noticed. So, Bev, for anybody that doesn't know, Bev, who you'll see in the comments, Bev Dale, she's absolutely marvellous at ticking things over in my Facebook group. So if you're not in our Facebook group, you can search on Facebook for the same as the YouTube channel's called. So search on Facebook for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours, and you can ask to join the group. And Bev is amazing. She keeps me on my toes and she keeps everybody informed when I'm too busy. So today, tell them, Bev, tell them what I did. If you've not noticed, now next to Bev's name on the Facebook group, it says that she is a group expert. So she's been promoted to group expert, which I didn't know I could do, but I think it's fabulous because Bev is our group expert. Let me just show you this. So this is what we've done on the inside, look, with the waste ink that was left on the mat. So rather than waste it, we've added some lovely orange and lemon to the inside where the verse is. I'm just going to pop that out of the way because I've done with the splats. I'm going to leave these to dry, look, so you can see they've been splattered with the yellow and the orange, which looks awesome. I'm going to pop those out of the way to dry for 5 minutes. Love a good splatter, so do I. Yeah, Bev is a superstar. Yeah, she's a group expert, and I don't know what we'd do without her sometimes. So thank you, Bev, for keeping me on my toes anyway. And keeping everybody up to date in the Facebook group. I think you're fabulous. Love your title, Bev. Yeah, it says group expert. If I could give her a gold star next to her name, I would. Right, so while we're waiting for those to dry, we're going to stamp the sentiment. So, oh, this has got a few little splats on it, so pretend you can't see them. I'm just going to get a drink. I'm sweating. Sweat is not a good look on me, I promise you. I'm too fabulous to sweat. So I'll just take the verse off. I don't know why I didn't put the verse back on its sheet earlier. And we're going to stamp the sentiment. So for those of you that Bev is a star, yeah. So for those of you that haven't seen this before, this is my double scalloped border die that was part of a compendium box that we released 2 years ago, I think. Was it last year? I can't remember. Year before? I can't remember. You can now get this for a limited time individually. So it has the signature deboss stitching in. Most people will have this already. But I'm going to use this to stamp my sentiment onto. And I'm going to take the To My Special Friend, I think. So To My Special Friend. And it just goes on with a little bit of the F underneath. So I'm trying not to worry too much. Apologies if you can see my hair. So I'm trying not to worry too much about where it is. You can see that I've positioned it almost centrally. And I'm going to stamp this with the Morning Mist again. So if I had have stamped the cupcakes, if I had have stamped the cupcakes in black, I would have done the sentiment in black, but I haven't. I've done it in Morning Mist. So the sentiment will be in Morning Mist as well. Doesn't matter so much for the inside, but this will match better on the front. Isn't that fabulous? That's how sharp you get the impression from the VersaFine Clear ink pads. I've just dropped that on the floor. Pick that up. Let's just pop that on there. Pop the stamp back. And we're just going to do one more thing before I move on, because I forgot to do this. So on the inside of this card, we are going to have an extra cupcake, and we are going to have a layer to match the front. But remember, the traditional way, or the way that posh cards come, is with a lovely sheet of paper in it. So I'm just going to do that while I've got the paper here, just so I can show you at the end what you could do. And I just think this is fabulous. Obviously, if you're making massive 8x8 cards, you will need an A3 sheet of paper to be able to do this. Let's just get the presents. Where are the rest? Oh no, let's have a piece of cake. Let's have a slice of cake in this one instead. I'm not going to colour this in because I don't need to, but it will show you how fab this is to be able to do the inside of your card. So I'm just going to do it all in one go. I think that's straight, but if it's not, forgive me. Let's just moved, so it won't be straight now, but hey ho. Oh, come on. It'll be a bit skewy, so forgive me, but it's just so I can show you at the end. So I'm just doing this with the morning mist again, just for quickness. You can absolutely do this any colour you want, and you can obviously even... I hate that look when that happens. Little bit of fluff. But yeah, you can even heat emboss these with your embossing powder to give you another look, a more luxurious look. Oh, that's just beautiful. So I'm just going to pop that to one side to dry, and then when we get to the end, I'll put that in and show you how that looks. It's just another option for finishing the inside of your cards. So we're done with stamping. I'm now going to cut these out, and I'll try and cut them out really quickly. And I will glitter them at the end. This is why I didn't worry about going over the edges. So talk amongst yourselves. You can go shopping while I'm cutting out if you want. There you go. That's just a little reminder. And don't forget as well, please, if you haven't already. So for those of you that missed the beginning of the YouTube live, I am hoping to do this every Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. And I've already discovered that my app, the app that I use, the streaming software that I use, wants me to schedule the YouTube lives, but YouTube itself doesn't want me to schedule, which is why I struggled at the beginning to get connected. So I'm going to have to figure out which is the best way around to do it. Doesn't that look lovely? Doesn't that look fab? Oh. So I'm cutting out quickly. Well, anybody that knows me knows that I'm the worst cutter outer, but these, if you look at how I've designed them, look, I've designed them so that they're easy to cut out, because I am the worst at cutting out, and I am so impatient. So if I can do this, anybody can do this. It's literally a couple of wobbly lines, look. Well, you can see how quickly I'm doing this. Oops. Like that, look. Somebody's had a bite out of the icing. We are getting there. We are getting there. I quite like the evening ones, I've got to say. It means I can work all day and get my jobs done, and then play with you a lot at night, which I think is fab. I don't know whether you've noticed for anybody who's worried about fussy cutting, but the very nature of the celebration collection is very sketchy. So it doesn't matter if you go over the lines or cut a little bit too far or not too far, like I'm doing here. No, I've just bent that, but oh, you'd never be able to tell. Let's just get this one finished, and then we'll start the assembly. So who would have thought that I could make an A6 card take this long? I think that's hilarious. It's taken me just as long to do a little A6 card as it would do an 8x8 or a 7x10. Hilarious. Oops, nearly done. So we've got our little banner that says happy birthday. We've got our 2 little cupcakes. And we can now start the assembly. So let's just see if these are dried. Don't they look fab once they've dried, look? Isn't that lovely? So we've effectively created a background from a sentiment stamp. This one's still a bit wet, so I'm going to help it along. I would normally leave this to dry naturally because you get better. You get a better finish. So this is the one where I went skew with, so that one's going on the inside. So we'll start layering this card up now, putting the pieces together. I wish you would just make dies for all your stamps. It becomes too expensive, Jennifer. Scan and cut does scan the images and cut them out, yeah. It does. I haven't got a scan and cut though. Oops. It's probably the only machine I haven't got, and I think it's just because I haven't got space. I'd rather spend my money on stamps. Stamps and dies. And then if you are using a scan and cut, remember I don't let you alter my images. So you can't enlarge or shrink or alter my images, or you'll be in bother. Right, so I'm just popping on there. I know Trudy used to use hers for cutting everything out because it's easier. So I'm just layering these up. And I'm going to pop these into the card when I find it. So this one's going on the inside because it's the one that I've got skew with. Oops, that's just going on the... Oh, come on, Phill. I can tell it's late. Mr. M could want. Please can you remind me which inks you use to stamp as backgrounds, Phill? I can remind you. So I use mustard seed and spiced marmalade distress oxides. But you, Trish, you could absolutely do this with your VersaFine Clairs as well. So the VersaFine Clairs just give you a stronger finish. Whereas if I bring that in really close, you can see that the distress oxides, although they are still quite sharp, you do get that lovely almost watercolor effect. So that's going on the inside. This is going on the front. Have I done that the right way around? I don't know, but it's too late. We are going to glitter this when it's finished. It's a lovely little note card size as well. Oops, I think I've just made that skewer. So on the front of the card, we are going to have this lovely lemon zest piece on foam tape to raise that up. And I am also going to put the sentiment. Oh, that's just going to annoy me. Just see if that's going to be covered up. If I was lucky. So the sentiment is also going on foam tape. So I'm just going to pop that there. Turn that over so I know how far to go. And we'll have that there. I've not seen Di. Is Di here? I bet she's forgot. So I'm just going to line that up so that it's more or less the same each side. And then chop that off with my big scissors on the back. So I've got that lovely little sentiment there. Oops. Just going to remind you while I'm doing sticky bits. When my computer catches up with my screen. So please like and share. Did that come up on your screen? Didn't. Oh, there you go. Nightmare to die cutting glitter card, yeah. Glitter card has to be really special for me to use it. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of shape. Just so that it's got a little bit of a bevel. And I am going to use glue gel for this. Oh, at least this is the one that works properly. The one I had on shows the other day did not work properly and it was bugging me. Oops. And it was bugging me. I'm just going to pop that on there. And then the little flags, look, they can go on a tiny bit of glue gel just to hold them in place. And I can tuck those underneath. So happy birthday. And then, I don't know whether I've ever told you this, but I tend to, when I'm demoing, I tend to leave the glittering and that until after. I don't do this always when I'm pre-prepping because you don't have time. But I'm going to go around the white parts now with the glue and the Diamond Dazzle glitter. And then what happens is, because this, you can't really see any, but where the pin flare is showing underneath, it bugs me. So I like it to be put in position and then glittered. So I'm going to do the inside. Oops, forgot the verse. That's your verse, look. That's how the verse has dried. I'm just going to pop that flat. So everything that's going inside the card is going to be flat so that you can close it. And even, should you wish, post it. Should you wish to, you could post it. And then we're going to have that little cupcake on the inside, just there. And then we're going to glitter. So I'm just going to quickly whiz around the edge. Let me just get a drink. Keep commenting, everybody, and keep liking and sharing for me. So somebody at the end of the live will win those 2 paper packs worth 24 quid. What foam tape are you using, Phil? Mine is driving me nuts. It's the woodware one. I think it's on the website, Kathleen. It's 2mm. I only ever use it. Very rare I use anything shallower than 2mm. But they do a 2mm and a 1mm. Right, so I'm just going to whiz around the outside of this. And I'm going on to the lemon zest card. And I'm not worrying. I say this every single time. Don't worry about if you get glue in the wrong place, like I've just stuck my finger in that. It won't matter, because the glitter will cover a multitude of sins. I'm going to do the inside at the same time. I would normally do these separate, so if you're going to have a go at making this card, you could have all your layers glittered before you put them on your card. I'm just doing it this way for quickness tonight, and so you get to see lots of different techniques. I won't do that because that'll get spoiled. So that's the inside. I've just spotted something that shouldn't be there. I don't know what that is, but it can get off my card. And then we'll do the front. So what happens now, look, is where I'm putting the glitter, if it falls underneath where the glue gel is, it just means that any of the glue gel that's seen from the side, it will just look pretty. It will just look glittery. I wonder if Anne's still watching on a lunch break. Anne, are you still watching, or have you got back to work? Anne's in New Mexico, and she was telling us that she was watching on a on her lunch break. I'm just going to glitter this as well. Just because we can. I'm going to finish by glittering the whole lot of that icing. And for some reason the ink from the watercolor pens is not affected by the water content from the PVA glue, which I think is just absolutely amazing, and that just shows you how good the pens are. So I'm just going to finish off with one little gem. Oh, not champagne, I've got the wrong lid on these. These are not the champagne gems, these are the diamond gems. I'm just going to put one in the middle of there. Using my pickup tool that is on the website too. So one little gem. And let's put everything away. And then I will show you this card close up. So remember, obviously when the glue dries from the cupcake, you'll just be left with the colour. So completely different to the original card. So we've created that background that says friends. We've got to my special friend. We've got the happy birthday from the cupcake, from the lots of cupcake stamp set, which is there. Can't really see that, but there you go. So we've created the background. We've done the splats with the watercolour blending brush pens. We've coloured with the blending brush pens. And then we have the inside to match. So when I've finished the live, I will glitter this as well. So I'm just going to show it. Isn't that lovely? Just a little cutie card. Plenty of technique involved in that, but it's just nice to be able to make a small card and to be able to post it. And the fact that the verse collection and the celebration collection particularly, with the we could change this and do it with one of the gifts. So for example, we could change that and use the big present that's in the lots of presents. And you could even change it again and use a champagne glass. We could have had bunting along there had we have got time. So I'm just going to show you now. I'm going to come back to the... Remember this? So this is just on regular paper. No, it's not. It's on posh 120 GSM paper. But so if you didn't want to do the inside to match the front, if you were making these to sell, for example, you could absolutely go to town on the front like I've done, and then you could just have a lovely verse on the inside that's like that, look. Isn't that just beautiful? So you could have the cupcake on the front and then open that out, and then you've got a proper insert on paper. Is that not just a beautiful way to finish one of your handmade cards? Yeah. So I'm going to save that because I might use that for something else. I wouldn't colour that in because it's just paper, but it looks quite nice just left in the grey. So how about that? Phill has made an A6 card live on YouTube. An A6 card. I'm glittering this now because it will annoy me if I don't. I'll save that verse. Card live. Well, it's the traditional way of doing the inserts. Can you remember when you were kids? Well, I can certainly remember when you used to buy anybody a handmade card or a card from the card shops. If it had that lovely verse inside on the paper, you always thought it was a bit posher. And now we can do that ourselves as card makers. And I've got to say, I think what we do as crafters, as card makers, is way better than what you buy in the shops anyway. You couldn't buy things like this. You just can't. And we could obviously personalise this with somebody's name. So once the glitter's dried, all you will be left with, I will take a photo and pop it on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page later. So once the glue's dried on these cupcakes, you'll see the colour from underneath. Isn't that beautiful? So there you have it. First live demo on YouTube, and I've made something that I don't make very often, if ever, which is an A6 card. I hope you like it because I've really enjoyed doing it. So let's pop that to one side, and now we will draw a winner for the 2 paper packs. Let me just wipe this mess up. I'm not going to do this every time, the giveaway. Well, I might do, it depends. It just depends if we've got stuff around. Oops. So somebody in a minute is going to win both of these paper packs. So I'm going to have a swallow of my coffee, and I'm going to scroll through I don't know how many comments there are, but there's quite a few by the looks of it. So while I'm doing this, everybody, please remember to like the live and subscribe to my channel. And remember, you can find Julia Watts, Ilona, Crafting with Ilona, and Lozzie. I'll try and get links for you from the design team. So that's that. All the products are available. I'm scrolling as I'm typing. What if I win it? Oh, I can't, can I? So I'm scrolling, scrolling up and down. I can't actually see anything because it's a blur. So this is where I have stopped. So I have stopped on Shirley Taylor. So Shirley Taylor, congratulations, you have won both of these paper packs. Let me just take that off. You've won both of these, so congratulations. If you can send me an email. In fact, Shirley, if you're still watching, Shirley, are you in the Facebook group? If you're in the Facebook group, just send me a private message later. If not, can you email Karen. So Karen at honeypotcrafts.co. Oh, there she is. She's watching lot. So if email Karen. So Karen at honeypotcrafts.co.uk, or send us an inbox message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. So well done, Shirley. You're the winner of 2 fabulous, beautiful paper packs. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and you can tell because I've gone on for an hour and a half. But I've really enjoyed it. So I hope you have too. I'm hoping that the YouTube lives will become a regular thing on Tuesday evenings. And we will be doing our Facebook lives on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page every Saturday afternoon as normal. So Shirley Taylor, congratulations, you've won these. Oh, bless you, you've never won anything. So just remember to send Karen a message on Facebook with your address, and we'll get these posted off to you. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for staying an hour and a half. I hope you've enjoyed it and actually learned something. Oh, look, you can see the glitter starting to dry now. The glue's starting to dry. Yeah. There you go, look. So the colour's coming through. We've just got a sparkly lemon and orange icing. I'll take a photo of this when it's dried properly later after I've had my dinner. So thanks, everybody. Please remember to subscribe to me and Julia and Lozzie and Ilona on YouTube. I'll try and get some links for you. I don't know whether it allows you to post them, but I will try and get some links. If you are on Facebook and you don't follow me already, you can search for Sentimentally Yours and like the page, and you can join our fabulous Crafters Inspiration group by searching on Facebook for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours, and we will see you there as well. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a lovely rest of the evening, and I will see you on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. on Facebook for the Facebook Live. So thanks, everybody. Bye. Well done.